beautiful souls. Welcome to the Spiritual Social. I'm super happy to have you here with me tonight for a tarot and oracle pick a card reading on the topic of your person's romantic fantasies about the two of you. So this is a reading that can apply quite widely. Please understand your person as anybody from a person you've just met, a crush you might be having. Also, it could be somebody who you are in a long-term connection with. Maybe you're at a long distance, or it could be that you guys had an argument and you're wondering about what's going on. This can also apply to twin flame or more intense soulmate connections that you guys know are sometimes affected by periods of separation and lack of communication. So in case that you find yourself in any of these situations, I would like to provide you tonight with some insight regarding your person's fantasies. What would they like to see happen between the two of you? So this is a reading that can apply to both same-sex or opposite-sex relationships. Please take them as you see fit, as they fit your personal circumstances. Keep in mind it's a general reading. If you would like to get a personal reading, get in touch with me. I offer those and I'll be super happy to help you. So tonight I have here for you 3 choices. I just thought I would give you a choice of 3 cards from the Witch's Oracle. Maybe some of you know. Those of you who have been loyal followers here on the Spiritual Social and who happen to also follow me on Instagram, maybe you know that I lost some 12 cards from the Witch's Oracle, unfortunately. So what I did is I used the remainder of the cards in the deck to create a collage, and I hung it up in my parents' flat, and now I am left with about 5 or 6 cards, which I thought I would put to good use in this reading today as choices for you. It's always good to try to redistribute the energy of an oracle deck or a tarot deck that has been somehow compromised through loss of cards or broken cards. It's good to keep the energy moving and to find something creative to do with it. Transmuting is better than stagnation. Keep that in mind, my loves. Just as a small tip for you beginner baby witches out there, or budding young tarot readers, oracle readers, I'm super happy to be able to help you guys. I love you so much. So, all this being said, your tarot and oracle cards have been pre-shuffled. I have linked in the description box below the 4 decks I am using. These have been mostly gifted to my channel based on my tarot and Amazon wishlist, and I'm incredibly happy and privileged and grateful to be able to use them in service for you guys tonight. Here are the choices. So for group 1, we have here the Green Man, Growth. For group 2, we have here the Spell card, Enchantment. And for group 3, we have the Spiral card, Attraction. Okay, this is also my choice. I'm playing along with you guys tonight, so I'm excited to see what pops up today based on the guidance that I'm receiving from Spirit. I just want to give you guys a great big hug before you jump to your specific pile. Thank you so much to my Light and Solar Crew members. There is a membership option if you want to join the channel. If not, that's perfectly fine. You will continue to receive free pick-a-card readings here on my channel. But for those of you who opted for the paid options, thank you so much for the support. I've been a bit missing in action due to a number of massive changes in my life, but now I'm happy to be settled, fully creative and re-energized, and yeah, your support means the world to me, guys. Thank you for keeping me well caffeinated throughout my really intense month of March and April. And also I want to give a great big shout out to all my patrons over there on Patreon. I offer you bespoke 3-card readings and audio interpretations. They tend to be a bit on the smutty and more erotic side because we cannot really get into this kind of deeper content here on YouTube, unfortunately, with the new regulations. But head over to my Patreon and support me for as little as $2 a month if you feel like giving that sum. I would be more than happy to continue creating wonderful content for you guys, and it's wonderful to see how you guys have been supporting me there too. So I don't know what else to say. I don't want to bore you by saying thank you, thank you, thank you, but this is genuinely the energy I feel at the moment. My heart is open to all of you. Thank you for making the Spiritual Social a growing, creative, light family. And all this being said, let's jump straight into it, okay? I'm not going to keep you waiting too long. I'm not going to be such a weird tease. So let's see. What are your person's romantic fantasies about the two of you? And let's jump straight to your pile. Mwah. Hello, Group 1. Hello, darlings. I'm so happy to have you here for a reading on the topic of your person's romantic fantasies. I forgot to tell you in the introduction that once you choose a card, and this is the card that you were drawn towards, this is the Green Man, the Growth card, you don't only choose the card, you also choose an environment. And I have here this beautiful meadow in summertime projected behind me for you. So we're walking into the environment of your person's fantasies, as well as having the card that already gives me a clue as to how this connection might play out. I can see very clearly that if you were drawn to the Green Man, you were attracted towards somebody. I think that predominantly you have a connection that is just at the beginning. You're crushing on this person, and this person feels quite traditionally attractive to you. This person feels fertile, abundant. They are the epitome of the kind of classically good-looking male or female, depending what you prefer. So I can see that this is an individual that has a lot of vitality, stamina, a person who tends to be optimistic and cheery, much like the environment behind me. So there is a feeling of feeling protected, being cared for, relaxing in the presence of this person. I feel that whenever you think about this individual, when you talk to them, when you're close to them, it's like they take away the cares of the day. You can relax. And I'm also picking up on the fact that some of you who have chosen this pile, you are attracted to a specific movie star or actress, actor, singer, songwriter, dancer, performer, maybe even YouTuber that fulfills these qualities I have just been describing. So all this being said, let's see your cards. What were you dealt? Let's find out. Let's go a little bit deeper into your person's inner landscape. So we have here the card Conflict, and the keywords here are discord, disagreement, common ground. It's a very spicy kind of energy. We also have here La Peur, which is basically the fear. We see a lot of red. Already there is this color theme of red. Oh wow, and we also have here from Nature Whispers Oracle, number 43, Love Matters. So love matters, as in love issues, but also love matters. Love is important. It can be interpreted in two ways. And now let me show you as well your tarot cards. So we have here the Magician. We have the King of Coins. This is high vibrational Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn energy. And then we have the Queen of Swords, high vibrational air sign energy. So this is Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. For a moment my mind froze. So it could be that this person, although you are quite a communicative, self-possessed, logical individual, it could be that this person is really shaking you up at the moment. You see how observant the Queen of Swords is of this wealthy, up-and-coming individual who has it all, who is not afraid to spend some money in order to make money, a person who is very traditional, very moral, very grounded, a person that knows exactly what they want to do in life and how they can thrive. I feel like there might have been some sort of conflict between you and this individual. You might have started off on the wrong foot in this connection. In spite of the fact that this person, much as this card fits so well with the background I intuitively have chosen for you, I feel like this person both excites you and makes you feel like this person has the potential to make my life so full and so rich and so delightful. Maybe this person can give me a lot of gifts and can give me finally the stability and financial wealth I've always dreamed of having. At the same time, this person triggers you. This person makes you feel a little bit afraid of opening up to them. I feel like predominantly here what is going on is a fear of being judged. Because for some of you that have chosen this pile, keep in mind it's a general reading, I keep repeating that so you know what's going on here. It will vary according to your astrological placements and to the type of person you're attracted to, of course. But I see predominantly the main archetypal themes that are coming out. I see here an individual that kind of brings up a daddy wound. So, in terms of how your relationship was to your own father figure, or lack thereof, I feel like this individual triggers some of those fears that you have in connection to your own father image. Because the father was the first man that you loved while you were growing up, whether you're a male or female. We all tend to kind of attach to a male figure as we're growing up. And that initial attachment figure, you know, it was important for you to live up to their expectation. It's important when you grow up to kind of seek the approval of an older adult male figure. And I feel like you strived a lot to do that. But maybe the relationship to that authoritative or authoritarian, better said, male figure was a little bit violent. It might have been verbally abusive. It might have been physically abusive. Maybe there was a lot of strife and arguments. It could be that in spite of the fact that you adored your father figure or your biological father, you always kind of butted heads with this individual. It could have been very difficult to actually see points in common. Maybe you had different values or different ways of looking at the world. And I feel like you're very independent in the way in which you think and the way in which you choose to live your life. And right now, you crushing on this person is bringing up a lot of those earlier conflicts in your growing up phase. And it's meant to help you heal. It's meant to help you see some things come up to the surface again, not so that you will get re-traumatized by them. That's not the intention of the spiritual path you are on. But it's meant to help you become aware with more experience. You've gathered a lot of life experience by this point in time, or sufficient for you to be able to deal with wounds from the past. By crushing on this individual, you are also healing a father wound. Now, I have to say that this reading tended to be a bit more about you and the therapeutical process of this crush. In terms of the fantasies, I see that you tend to fantasize more about being with this individual, and a lot of the times the fantasies that you have with them tend to engage with magical thinking. It's kind of like you would like them to come to you, speak to you, even without you needing to put your desires into words. You would like to just manifest them. And while that is wonderfully noble and beautiful, and yes, manifestation is a real thing and you can certainly do it, I feel like in this situation, it will not work in this way. You have to actually put in the work of putting your desires into words and coming up with a communicative, sociable, relational strategy. How am I going to go about overcoming conflict, overcoming my triggers, in order to tell this person that I find them fascinating and that love matters. I want to love them. I want them to love me. I want to open up to them. I want to heal. I want to be touched by them. I want them to hug me. I want my heart to open up, you know. I want to feel those really wonderfully warm and cozy emotions that you have when you're in the presence of a person that loves you, that makes you feel safe, that makes you feel seen and admired and adored, right? So there is something here about an individual that just came up into your life, group one, and you're growing. You're growing so much in this connection. And yes, in some days you might struggle to grow. You might feel like, oh, why do I have to grow? I'd rather just have love and that's it, you know? I can completely understand that. It can be frustrating. The growth process involves the growing pains as well. And these can be both physical but also emotional in this case, because I'm sure that you completed your physical maturation by now. Because my channel is not for under 18-year-olds, okay? Anyway, all that being said, I feel that it's like you're growing emotionally. Maybe there was a traumatic event in your childhood, or maybe the relationship with your father or father figure was so difficult that it stunted your emotional growth. It kept you at the level of, in spite of the fact that your body matured, emotionally you were stuck at 5 years old or 12 years old or 16. Whenever a traumatic event happened between you and a father figure. And I mean, trauma can be perceived on a spectrum because all of us have different sensitivities. Some of us, you know, go through phenomenally intense things and they still consider those as non-traumatic events, while others of us get really traumatized by the fact that a parent shouted at them angrily once. So keep that in mind, okay? We all have different levels of sensitivity, and trauma can mean a different thing for one person compared to what another person has endured. But I see very clearly here that there is a certain degree of wishful thinking involved in the situation. This person, from what I can tell very briefly, because their fantasy energy is not very strong, and I think it's precisely because this person is so pragmatic. I'm not gonna lie to you, you know, I wish I could tell you something embellished because you're here looking for the romantic fantasy, but this person has their eye on their wealth. If anything, this person fantasizes about becoming the leader in their profession. They dream about money rolling into their bank account, you know. They dream about having the best house in the neighborhood. They dream about having security, sending their children and, you know, the legacy of the family, sending their children off to the best universities in the world and maintaining the legacy of the family and creating generational wealth, you know. This person thinks of dynasties, legacies, titles, nobility. This is what this individual craves. They crave the social status. They crave the wealth, power, and achievement, you know. Just like in that Lana Del Rey song, I want money, power, and glory. Sorry about my bad singing, but I'm sure you understand the gist of it, right? And while this person is keeping their eye on the coin and trying to flourish, much like the background behind, you are keeping a very close eye on them. They fascinate you, but they also anger you. This person keeps you coming back for more, while at the same time creating this deep inner conflict inside of yourself. I feel like you know that you are a little bit more interested in them at the moment than they are in you. It might just be a Mercury retrograde thing, because I am filming this reading under a Mercury retrograde sky in spring 2023. You might see it in the future, so maybe Mercury will be direct by then. And I have a feeling that it could be that because of the post-eclipse corridor that we just came out of, in combination with Mercury retrograde, there could be some misunderstandings created because we're not collectively thinking so logically. During Mercury retrogrades, it's like we tend to go under under the radar with our capacity to think clearly and rationally. That's why Mercury retrogrades are perfect periods to just go on a holiday. As you know, intense calculus or planning your great novel or refurbishing your house and measuring things is not recommended during those times. But all this being said, coming back to this fantasy, I am doing my best to try to kind of nitpick the energy and try to pick up details regarding the romantic fantasy. I have to say that this person's energy, as I'm picking it up right now, is quite traditional. They might fantasize about you covering your hair, you see, because we have here a woman that has a cone and a woman that has this veil. They might want to kind of have you only for themselves, and they could get quite jealous if other people might look at you, flirt with you, or try to kind of hit on you in a more lascivious way. I feel like this person has this fantasy of being your one and only, but I kind of have a feeling that with this white dove over here and the white flower in her hair, this person has very strong purity fantasies. Like potentially they would like to be the first person that you make love to, or they would like to be the individual that kind of protects your purity, your moral status. I kind of have the feeling that this person could come from a culture and an environment in which tradition, religion tend to be quite established and quite serious and strong and heavy. So it could be that this person is very focused on this kind of traditional provider role, and maybe you come from a completely different culture, because I see here a progressive woman, yeah? The Queen of Swords is a progressive woman, the King of Coins is a traditional man. And that could be the source of the conflict. You are equally attracted to each other, but I feel like you are keeping an eye on this person more than they are keeping an eye on you. This could also be, if you look at this card, it could also be that you're, you know, checking their social media accounts while this person is spending more time working rather than being on social media. So it can be something quite trite, quite banal. But I feel that overall, there is a fated quality to your connection. I'm not going to lie. With the Magician here, it is the beginning of a relatively new major arcana cycle. It's not exactly the Fool. The Fool is the first card. The Fool is the 0 and the beginning of the cycle, but the Magician comes closely thereafter. And the Magician is all about establishing the foundation that the Fool has created and connecting the willpower of the individual to divine grace. So allowing divine grace to intervene in your life. And I feel like there is more to come in this connection with this individual. There is potential here for something long-term. But there is also at the same time this barrier between you guys coming close together, being physically intimate with each other. That's kind of what I perceive it. There is this purity problem. Maybe you guys, you're from a Christian kind of background, and maybe you have shared purity rings and you decided to not engage in anything more intimate, more romantic until after the wedding. If you guys even discussed, because I feel that for the majority of you, there hasn't been a discussion that is so serious, right? It's more like a tentative, oh, I met this person, I'm really curious, let me check up on them on social media and see what they're up to. And you see the wealth, you see the obsession with work that this person has, their strong work ethic as well. And you see that they're an upstanding member of society, or that they're struggling to become such a person. And you like that, and at the same time, it scares you. Mostly because I think you would wonder whether you would be truly happy with such an individual, or whether you will feel suffocated by such a traditionalistic lifestyle. I'm going to leave your reading here. I don't want to make it too long. I hope this helped. Sorry it wasn't so detailed regarding the romantic fantasies, but I hope that the interpretation and a little bit of that therapeutical analysis that I created at the beginning, I hope that it helped. And I hope that you were able to soak in a little bit of this summery environment that is provided by this beautiful green man. So until next time, take great care of yourself. Bye. Hey group 2, I'm so happy to have you here with me tonight. I hope you're doing well, my loves. Welcome to a tarot and oracle pick-a-card reading on the topic of your person's romantic fantasies. And much like with group 1, sorry I had to kind of glurp. That's such a weird word. I'm already picking up on a very humorous vibe with your person. Much like with group 1, I forgot to mention in the introduction, you have not only chosen a card, and this is the card that you are drawn towards, the spell, but you also chose an environment. Hey group 2, hello darlings, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another tarot and oracle pick-a-card reading on the topic of your person's romantic fantasies. I'm super happy to have you here with me. Much like with group 1, I forgot to mention it in the introduction, but you have not only chosen a card for your pile, and this is the card you were drawn towards, the spell card, but you also got to choose an environment. So behind me, I have this beautiful spring meadow with soft rain sounds. I feel like this is the most appropriate environment in order to understand where your person is emotionally and psychologically placed at in this connection with you. I feel that there is something quite deep, melancholic, and cleansing going on between you and this individual. And that's why I felt intuitively drawn towards selecting an environment with soft rain. Rain also has this quality that it tends to make people feel quite dreamy, quite sleepy, melancholic, and I know from experience that some of my friends feel quite aroused during soft rain environments. So there is something quite erotic, sleepy, but also cleansing and healing about this type of environment that I have here. And I feel like this is also the energy of your person. You've clearly got your person under a spell, right? Just like in the Nina Simone song, I put a spell on you. This person feels like you bewitched them. It feels like they are in a connection with a fairy. They could project onto you this idea of a whimsical, creative, fun, flirtatious creature that stands in contrast to their more serious self. So you could be in a connection with a person that's quite serious, a person that could be recovering from a mild case of depression, if not a serious one, and they see you as the reason that they are able to get out of bed in the morning. So it tends to be quite a strong connection, especially from their side. I'm not exactly sure from your side how it feels. I feel like from your side, you're naturally loving and you want to keep things lighthearted, but it's a very different energy to group 1. Whereas in group 1, I felt like the seeker, the viewer, was the one more interested in their person. In your case, I'm already picking up on the fact that your person sees you as this wonderful rainbow of emotions, this ray of sunshine in their life, meant to help uplift them from some pretty dark and difficult circumstances in their life. Now, let's see the cards that you got. So we have here, be true to your heart. I'm already getting a case of a situation where you might already be in a connection with somebody else, or you could be crushing on 2 people at the same time, and you're here asking about a specific individual out of the 2 you are crushing on. So that's only for some of you. Keep in mind this is a general reading, yeah? I need to tell you what I feel. I also see here Gaia. And Gaia is Mother Earth. This is Taurus energy. We are at the moment under a sky that has quite heavy Taurus placements, and very soon, in a couple of days, 4-5 days, we are going to be making the switch from Jupiter in Aries into Jupiter in Taurus. So we already see this earth, sensual, big-hearted mama energy. A woman that's very grounded, a feminine energy that is incredibly seductive and alluring. Then we also have the dreaming card, yeah, and the keywords here are gifts, receiving, and dreams. Oh boy, is your person fantasizing about you. I think that thinking about you gets them through the day, literally. I also feel that Neptune has a very strong influence on your connection. So your connection could feel at times dreamy and perfect and incredibly romantic and so emotionally connected. And at other times it could feel confusing and disappointing and heart-wrenching, because Neptune tends to take you through this emotional roller coaster ride. One moment you could be feeling so connected to your person, the next moment you could be feeling as if your whole world is crashing down, or you're feeling a sense of emotional heaviness descending upon you. Because Neptune rules the dual sign of Pisces, and at the moment I am filming this at the moment in spring of 2023, and the sky is currently dominated by Saturn and Pisces. And Saturn and Pisces brings us the collective responsibility to wake up from illusions, from the ways in which we deceive ourselves, but also how we get to deceive other people through our entertaining of two options at the same time. So I'm just going to put this out there. I'm going to show you your tarot cards as well. So we have here the Page of Coins. So this is a younger, higher vibrational Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn energy. We also have here the Ten of Swords. So this is a very strong, mentally exhausted card. A card that tells me that one of you could be burnt out or on the brink of depression. And then we also have here the High Priestess. Yeah, so the High Priestess again talks about Neptune, Pisces energy. It talks about being emotionally aware yet detached from the situation. I think you are definitely the person that is being placed on a pedestal here with the High Priestess. Your person adores the socks out of you. They cannot sleep at night because they are worried about what you're doing, who you're going out with. Are people putting ideas in your head? Are you thinking of them? This is what they're fascinated by and also tormented by. They see you as a person who's incredibly beautiful on the inside and beautiful on the outside, and they wish that they could be someplace in a meadow with you, enjoying a picnic, making love to you, and just being in the rain kissing you. Kind of like in that Spider-Man scene when they're kissing, one of them is upside down and the other one is upright. I kind of feel like this person enjoys movies, they enjoy books, stories, they consume a lot of culture, they consume a lot of maybe folklore as well, and they do have a bit of a imaginative, romantic imagination. This could be a connection between two water signs as well, or an earth sign and a water sign. So we have here potentially a Taurus and a Pisces. And one of you at the moment is not doing so well emotionally, and the other one, through their sheer presence and energy, is helping lift up from a place of psychological muck the other individual. So please don't feel, and I don't want to see this in the comments, my loves, I want you to show some understanding, because many times I read your comments and I see that some of you are complaining, oh, why do I have to be the person that always rescues other people? It's not like that here. You're not even needing to do that much work in this connection. Just being yourself, just being there, responding to this person's text messages, or being close to them and putting a hand on their back or kissing them, whatever you choose to do naturally. That is enough to make this person feel like they are mentally healthy again. It's kind of like this person was in some sort of a difficult life circumstance that completely destroyed their innocent view of the world. They could have been engaged in arguments with people that lasted for a couple of maybe months. I see here at least 10 months. And it's almost like they lost faith that they could connect with somebody, that they could love somebody. And you appeared in their life, and it's like you're cleansing them, you're purifying them, just like soft spring rain. And you don't need to do it intentionally. I feel like at the beginning of your connection, you did it even without thinking about it. You didn't even understand your own powerful effect on this individual. Now I think that you're aware. Now I think that you know. On an intuitive level, you always knew. That's why we have the High Priestess here. And I also feel that on some level, you could be casting some love spells on this person. Maybe in order to help lift them up. Maybe in order to get them in touch with their higher self and help them spiritually, as they are also trying to help themselves physically. Because with Gaia here, I feel that this is really important. I feel like your person fantasizes about you guys going on a trip together. Maybe going camping, maybe going on a holiday. Being in nature with you is what definitely turns this person on. They want to open up a fire and, you know, maybe cook some marshmallows and drink some hot cocoa with you under the stars. They want to go camping, they want to touch trees with you, they want to be in a beautiful verdant garden. I'm only laughing because I think this is so sweet. I mean, I would love to have a partner that would take me out like that. I feel like this person also appreciates the seaside. We see here a lot of shells and conches. This is also a symbol of protection. Maybe this person is into vintage objects, because I see this flower looks like a vintage gramophone player. And this person just can't stop thinking about how beautiful you are, because you see the peacock, one of the most resplendent birds in the bird kingdom. And it's represented here by her hair, by this beautiful angel's flaming golden hair. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to be blonde. I also see here a person with green hair, yeah. I also see here a woman with darker hair. And I also see here somebody with red hair, right? Ginger hair. So it can be a variety. I mean, I see somebody here with white hair as well, if you see the Gaia image. And somebody with more auburn hair, yeah? So a variety of hair colors are represented here. I just wanted to make that perfectly clear. This person just loves your energy. They love your physicality. They think you're beautiful inside and out. And their fantasies of you are being in nature with you, being relaxed, not needing to struggle, not needing to fight, not needing to put effort into getting out of bed in the morning. And I feel that this person is depressed because of other things in their life. This has nothing to do with you. It could be childhood trauma, it could be family problems, it could be workplace, burned out situations, fears about money, fears about being good enough for what they took on in life to do. Or it could be that this person has far too many responsibilities and they just need some time off, they need some fun, they need a ray of light in their life. And I definitely feel that you get them dreaming. They fantasize about you. You are like their fairy godmother. And I feel like your connection might have started as the moon was getting ready to become full. We see here the crescent of the moon. So right around the time when it was from the new moon to the first quarter. And this shows that already the seeds, the emotional, romantic, unconscious seeds of your attraction were planted very steadfast, because whatever we tend to initiate and start at a new moon or a couple of days following from the new moon event grows exponentially, almost like helped by the divine in the corresponding 6 months, but it can also take up to a year. So I see very clearly here that it was divine timing for you guys to meet when you met. And even though you might go through a couple of ups and downs, mostly because I think this person could relapse into their depression and they might cut contact from you. They might not talk to anybody. They might retreat into their shell and disappear for days. I feel that they eventually keep coming back to you and they keep surfacing back and they keep wanting to talk to you. They keep reaching out to you. So you represent really a strong point of imagination, daydreaming, comfort, love, and satisfaction for this person. You hold the key to their lightheartedness, to their transformation from a person that was feeling quite bogged down and heavy, watered down, rained upon, you know, like, oh, poor little me and my dark rain cloud over my head. You help them stop victimizing themselves. You help them get into this cheetah energy. And the cheetah is such a solar and masculine symbol of vigor and speed and determination. You know, cheetahs are predators, they're hunters, and they're one of the fastest animals in the world. So this is a lot about becoming more dynamic, moving a little bit. Maybe this person is even actively trying to lose some weight, you know, and metaphorically losing the physical weight, the extra pounds, also means liberating themselves emotionally, because a lot of the times the reasons why we tend to take on a lot of extra pounds is because we're struggling on an emotional level as well, and the body kind of tends to materialize our emotional pain in a couple of extra weight. And I feel that as this person is healing through your love, through your attention and affection, their energetic and physical body is cleansing as well. So they might lose some weight, they might start to feel more lighthearted, they might become more dynamic, more fast with their responses, laughing more. Maybe they might enjoy doing things more with you. If before it was really hard to convince them to get out of the house, to talk to you, I feel like gradually this person is going to gain momentum. So it's just the beginning, okay? For the majority of you, this is just the beginning. Hold fast and stay determined, because with the Page of Coins here, this shows that this connection has phenomenal potential to grow into something stable. This person is not going to forget how you were by their side during a really trying time in their life. Almost like a dark night of the soul, that you helped some way, you placated them, you know? It's kind of like if this person was outside in the cold shivering, you came towards them and you placed the blanket on their, you know, on their shoulders, and they suddenly felt that, hey, I've got something to live for. You know, kindness is still possible. Life is not just enduring and pain and suffering. There is somebody out there that I can focus my energy on productively and positively. And that's you, group 2. I'm going to end your healing. I'm going to end your healing. Hey. Hey group 3, welcome to your Tarot and Oracle Pick-a-Card reading on the topic of your person's romantic fantasies. I forgot to mention in the introduction, but when you choose a card, you also choose an environment. And this behind me is the environment that I felt intuitively guided to portray in your reading. And this is the card that you are attracted to. The spiral card, the attraction card. So I'm playing along with you because I'm also curious about my crush's romantic fantasies of me, and I felt guided to use this Tibetan singing bowl demonstration clip that has these very orangey, warm, kind of welcoming sacral chakra kind of vibe, because I'm getting such a chill vibe with your person. This is an individual that is at the moment either focusing on their breathing, trying to control the hectic, busy schedule that they might have undergone in the last couple of days. This is an individual that knows something about two of you very certainly. And this is a person who is also quite spiritually attuned. An individual that is trying to also keep their emotions under check, and a person who also feels quite drawn to the kind of motherly, fatherly, let's call it parental energy that you could exude. You calm this person down so much. You help them get in touch with something that is otherworldly. To them, you represent kind of like a classic embodiment of the divine feminine or the divine masculine. This is an individual who is attracted to spiritual practices, could do yoga, could go on spiritual retreats, might pull tarot and oracle cards, might pray. This is a person that could walk around with beads, prayer beads, or crystals. This is clearly somebody that I feel is right up your alley if you are also a spiritual individual. So, and I think you are, that's why you're here, right? Let me show you right now the cards that you got. So we have here, catch your breath. Exactly what I was saying, focusing on the breathing, right? It's almost like this person, it could have been that when you guys met, you took this person's breath away, or vice versa, they took your breath away. Or you might have met in a situation where it was hard to breathe, like both of you were in a sauna, or you were maybe jogging and you bumped into this person, or you were climbing upstairs. It feels like something difficult. Maybe one of you had a panic attack and the other one just happened to walk by or bumped into the other person. There's something here with breathing and breath work. I also feel like each time when you decide to focus on your breathing and meditate, I feel like you're sending your person, your crush, the person on your mind, you're sending them a wave of calmness and peace. It's like you're able to influence one another's energies very powerfully. And there is also a feeling here, I'm kind of getting some parent and child dynamics. One of you is healing their inner child in connection to your figure. I would say this is your person. Your person's inner child is healed by your parental energy. And you might not be aware that you're exuding this parental energy. I don't think it's something conscious. I think this is the role you unconsciously play in this connection. So don't stress out too much about it. I'm just helping you unmask the blueprint so you know what you're dealing with here on a spiritual and energetic level. And I feel that it's meant to be. It's meant to be for you to awaken the playful inner child of this individual. Because this person, I feel, could have been bogged down by something. They were made to feel unsafe by some changing circumstances in their own family or in their own lives. So let's see the other cards. We have here the ego, number 11. Sorry, number 17. But I feel like I said 11 because it's a new energy coming in. You guys are manifesting something completely different. And it might require the breakdown of the ego before this burst of happiness, this new sense of self can come up. We have here as an ego, we have the phoenix bird, or an artistic rendition of a phoenix bird. And you guys know that a phoenix needs to first burn through pain in order to become ashes and then rise up from that muck, from the destruction, from the detritus of its own self-annihilation. It rises above and becomes anew. It becomes the bold ego, the one that is able to see the higher perspective and understands why things had to happen in this way. So it's all about extracting wisdom from painful life circumstances. Your person is in a process of transformation right now. So if they're not reaching out to you, not communicating with you, even though you guys had a phenomenal connection right from the beginning, it's because, first of all, they seem a little bit baffled by how much you remind them of something safe, of something reminiscent of a family home, like a harbor. Yeah, like a safe haven in times of need. And they're processing that because I think some family memories were triggered when they came in contact with you. I also feel like it was hard for this person to let you go the first time they met you. Like, you might have rescued them or saved them, even if it was just you giving them some water so that they can breathe better, or just tapping them on the shoulder and telling them, job well done, you know. I feel like even if you just smiled at them, it was important. For them, it was important that that small social contact ignited something inside of themselves. Let's see the other oracle card that you got. Yeah, solitude, yeah, rest, ponder. We have here quiet and sanctuary. You are this person's sanctuary. So I feel like you shouldn't be worried or anxious over this person's maybe mysterious ways in which they approach you, or a lack of communication, because at the moment it's almost as if they met you and everything went still, like time started going in slow-mo. And a lot of things from the past are rising up, and they need to see the people, the family members that are still haunting them. They need to come to terms with certain values, with certain experiences, in order for them to be able to kind of not see you so much in this parental role, but to see you as a romantic partner. So the distance between the two of you is healthy. I feel like for some of you there is this separation, but one of you found it very hard to let go, and I'm tempted to say that it's your person who found it very hard to let you go. It's almost like they saw you and they wanted to latch on to you, and you might have just continued on your merry way, and now they are in stillness, in a sanctuary, in their own home, or in the environment that they have created to support themselves, and they're transforming. Their fantasies of you are that you become the safe point for them, this person that they can just wrap themselves around. Don't worry, because I don't think this is codependent. I think it runs the risk of becoming codependent. But if you are at a distance at the moment, if you're separated by whatever reasons, see this as a blessing. Because if you guys were to have continued kind of connected at the hip as you met, it would have been very difficult to stay away from a codependent pattern, a pattern in which you constantly need to be with the other person and you end up suffocating them, you know, you end up obsessing nastily over them. While at the moment, the solitude, both your own and the other person's, while you might physically not be close to one another, I feel like in spirit you are. And I feel like you both need rest. You both need a lot of sleep and a lot of dream time in order to regain your energy. Because I feel like this romantic connection can't even get off the ground because both of you are drained of energy. Not because of coming in contact with each other, but because of other things in your life. Maybe one of you is working 2 jobs. Maybe the other one has some important work projects and deadlines that are pressuring them. Maybe one of you has been having nightmares due to certain family patterns that are coming up to the surface. Maybe one of you suffered the loss or has a parent that is diseased and sick, and you know, they need to take care of that parent. So you can imagine the worries and the late nights, right? So I feel that there is something pressing heavily on both you and your person. And until you guys manage to rest and cleanse that energy and drop it off your shoulders, it's going to be a period of quiet observation, of solitude. This person actually feels safe watching you from a distance, considering you from a distance. I feel like the fantasies that they have of you, it's kind of like I'm seeing this individual in a completely snowy landscape with a lot of snowflakes falling on them. They're cold, they can see their breath, they're focusing on their breath, and all of a sudden you arrive and you put your hands around them and they feel safe, you know, and they are able to hold your hand on their chest and they feel like their heart is beating again. So this is really, it's quite deep, I would say. Much like the Tibetan singing bowls behind, you get to see how soft and slow the movements are, but how perfectly, like the rhythm is perfectly attuned. And I kind of feel like it's the same in this connection. Don't rush, don't push. I'm sorry if you hear something in the background. My cats have started becoming frisky with one another. Exactly. Don't rush, don't push. Don't be stressed out by external circumstances, because you guys are safe. You met. It's enough for the time being. Let me show you your tarot cards. We have the 7 of Wands. This is the card of I am not going to give up. Yeah, you see the tattooed, mustached acrobat breaking the bars down of this prison. I'm gonna break away. I'm gonna break free from my responsibilities, from everything that I've loaded my life completely with. I feel like one of you might have escaped into work from very difficult circumstances, might not have been able to deal with their emotions. Maybe they lost their parents, maybe they lost something important to them, maybe they lost an ex, and they escaped into work. And now that you guys met, you both need to create circumstances in your life to make space for love, to make space for a relationship again. And this is what this card shows so beautifully, breaking down the bars of the mental and physical prison in which you voluntarily placed yourself. And my cats are destroying the house. Sorry about that, you know. I have 2 cats, Sol and Luna, and they're still getting accustomed to one another. But it seems like you guys need to keep your cool and kind of keep this love secret for the time being, and it will only grow, because the next card that we have here is the 4 of Wands. Yeah, 4 of Wands, the home, the happy house, feeling like you both are creating roots into each other's souls. And I feel like this is happening on an unspoken level at nighttime through dreams, by thinking about one another. And even as there are these circumstances around you, you know, like maybe people demand a lot of you at work. Maybe there's a lot of stressors in your surroundings. You have to deal with a lot of things like loud neighbors and maybe cats that are ripping your chair apart as you're trying to work. It's important to just stay aligned and not get out of your center, because the more you stay aligned, the more you stay calm and patient, and you understand it's all happening for a reason, I believe, I trust, you will be rewarded with shared affection. Maybe an out-of-the-blue confession of love. Or one of you reaches out all of a sudden, when the moment is right, when they feel inspired, when spirit guides one of you towards the other one. I feel like you both will be ready to welcome one another. It's so fascinating. It's like time is standing still, but also a lot of things are still evolving. But with the two of you, time is standing still somehow. And it's just the affection inside of you is growing and growing and growing. This person wants to welcome you in their heart, in their world, but it first needs to be patched up and mended, because I feel inside of themselves there have been some battles, some storms, and they cannot welcome you into a stormy environment. It's first they need to kind of mend their heart, rest their mind, and then they can make space for you. So trust the process. Yeah, Saturn is at the moment in Pisces at the time at which I'm filming this reading. And it's a lot about believing, the perseverance of believing in love, believing in the dream, not giving up even if other things around you are testing your belief in love, you're testing your belief in the divine. Keep putting in the effort daily and you will see rewards. And the effort has to be spiritual, yeah, in order to see material rewards. That's how Saturn in Pisces works. It's a bit weird, confusing, I know. And the final card that I have here for you, being watched, feeling observed, feeling as other people are entering your energy, and you need to strike up boundaries left and right, because I feel like both of you are protecting what's blooming inside each other's inner worlds, the healing, the love that is created. It's kind of like when you bake a cake or you try to make bread, you know, you put all the ingredients and you put it in the oven, and then you carefully, patiently watch as the oven is helping the loaf grow. It's helping the cake bake. And at the right time, you need to take it out in order to enjoy it, yeah? Don't let it stay too long. Try to act on the spot, because then it will get burned, right? So this is all about the right timing. This is all about feeling your way through it. And it's a lot about letting go of anxieties, nightmares, worries that you might not be good enough, that you're somehow at fault, that you might be waking up, you know, you could be having feverish dreams in this period, wondering, why is nothing happening? Why do I feel this? And yet not much is happening. But the whole point is for you to just hold fast on the vision of love that this person inspired in you and that you inspired in them. Because I'm here to let you know that your person reciprocates your feelings. It's very beautiful. And I see here even the potential for, you know, a third element to enter into this picture, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so it's the two of you and a third something being created here. Wow. I don't know what else to say. My cat is completely like meowing in the background, purring in a very weird way. But yeah, throughout all the conflicts and all the disruptive elements, stay aligned, group 3, okay? Because at the moment, you need to learn how to catch your breath in a stormy sea of social relationships that could seem crazy, of demands on your daily routine that could feel a little bit hectic. But there's a really deep soul transformation happening here for both you and your person. And with perseverance, breaking away from this prison, breaking away through your defenses, and look, no longer feeling watched and observed and kicked out, but entering into this beautiful union, this gorgeous harmony. Two people building a home, and more importantly than an actual home, feeling at home with one another. That's the important aspect of this situation. And that's the calming and soothing energy of the environment in which your person is feeling at the moment. They're retuning their heart. They're realigning their chakras. It's like, you know, spiritual angels have entered their chest and they're like chiseling away there, you know. So this is what I had for you, group 3. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope you have enjoyed this reading. take excellent care of yourself. And if you feel like binge watching some of my videos, I highly recommend maybe this video, and also have a look at my pick a card readings list. You might enjoy it, who knows, maybe there's something in there for you to have a look. Take care, until next time.